Today I'm going to get into some quick tips as far as reharmonization. I'm going to give you 7 different approaches that you can use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the first 8 measures of a pretty straightforward tune called A Child is Born by Thad Jones. So the first level of reharm that I'm going to do is a pretty common one. It's just plural substitutes. So anytime you have a 1 chord in major, you can use its 3 minor or its 6 minor. Every time you have a 4 chord, either in major or in minor, you can use the 2 minor or 2 minor 7 flat 5 chord. See, the original starts on a B flat major. I substituted in G minor. Then we get to E flat minor. I substituted in the 2 chords, C minor 7. But because it's an E minor and not an E major, I made it C minor 7 flat 5 to accommodate that G flat. Measure 3, the original is B flat major. Once again, I used the 3 chord, so I used the D minor 7. And then measure 4, I kept it E flat minor 6, the original. Now you'll notice that there's something going on in the bass. While I'm doing this and I'm changing out substitutes, I'm actually adding in a counterpoint line in the bass, which is another degree of sophistication that you can do. So you can control your harmony by how you want the bass line to go. So in this case, I started on G minor, then I'm going down a half step to G flat, then I'm going down a half step to F, then I'm going down to E flat, then I'm going down to D, then I'm going down to C, and that makes a nice line. So you got that going on in the bass. So okay, measure 5, instead of B flat major, I'm using D minor. Measure 6, instead of E minor, E flat minor, I'm using C minor 7 flat 5 again. And then here's the turnaround. So instead of A minor 7 flat 5 to D7 sharp 9, let's go to measure 8, where it would ordinarily be D7 sharp 9. Well, in this case, I'm going up a minor third from that, and I'm keeping the same quality, an F7 sharp 9. And with this particular chord family, you can go up and down in minor thirds and keep the dominant 7 sharp 9 shape and use it as a plural substitute. I won't get into all the theory as to why, but you can do that. So now that I got my F7 sharp 9 to take me to G minor 7, because it's really functioning, it looks like F7 sharp 9, it sounds like F7 sharp 9, but it's functioning as a plural substitute for that D7. Then I'm putting the actual real D7 in front of that instead of the A minor 7 flat 5. So now you got this whole different set of changes. So let's listen to that. So as you can see, there's a ton of different stuff that you can do just with plural substitutes. But now in this second example, I'm going to get into a concept called backcycling. Basically, I'm just going to be cycling through fourths. You can also cycle through fifths, but it's less common, so you'll have to use your ear and see if you like the sound of that. But you can cycle through fourths. You can take a starting point and then run through in a cycle of fourths until you get to where you want to end up. So in this case, I started on the G minor, but then I just ran cycle of fourths all the way through, keeping all the chords diatonic. So starting on G in the bass, made it a G minor, went a fourth, to C, diatonic, C minor, fourth, F, kept it F7. Another fourth takes us to B flat, made it a B flat sus because of that E flat in the melody. Anytime you have an 11th or a 4th in the melody on a major chord or a dominant chord, you need to make it a sus 4 chord. Or don't play the 3rd, because that's going to make a minor 9th and it's going to suck. It's going to sound bad. So make it a B flat sus 4. 4th away from that, E flat major. 4th away from that, A flat major. I made it A flat major because the 7th and the 3rd of that A flat major are diatonic. If I had chromatic, if I made it A flat minor and I had the 3rd and the 7th and the root of that chord chromatic to the tonality, it's going to be a much more compositional sound. So you could do that, but keep in mind, we're always thinking about tonality. We're not doing like music school where it's compartmental 2-5 here, compartmental 2-5 there, as if the tonality doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what momentary key you're in. If you're in the key of E flat major or the key of F sharp, whatever that key signature says still has an effect. You're just stretching out that tonality for a minute when you're in these momentary key centers, but you're not losing the tonality. So I kept the 3rd and the 7th diatonic, therefore it's A flat major 7 instead of A flat minor 7. Okay, moving a 4th away from that, D flat 7, 4th away from that, G flat 7, and then it takes me down a half step. I like to go to F to get me to that B flat major, so I do B flat major over F. So here's what that sounds like. All right, this example is about cycles. So cycles are turnarounds, but I like to call them cycles because, it's the same thing. Cycles and turnarounds. But that accounts for the vast majority, maybe 80, 90% of chord changes in jazz, and then everything else is ornamentation for the most part. So everything is either 1-to-1, 1-to-2, 2-to-1, or 2-to-2 in various different keys. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to get from 2-to-2. I started on C minor on measure 1, the 2 chord, and I want to get back to C minor and measure 5. So I use my common cycle, which is 2-5-1-6. You can always do that to get from 2-to-2, 2-5-1-6. So in this case, I did that right here. C minor 7 to the 5, F7 to the 1, B flat major 7 to the 6 chord, G7 flat 13. Takes me right back to 2. Now I want to get from 2-to-1, one of the other cycles. The common route for that is 2-5-1-5. And there's a lot of variations with these cycles, but this is just kind of a straightforward one. And sure enough, 2-5-1-5 takes me right back to B flat major and measure 9. So C minor 7, 5 chord, F7, 1 chord, B flat major 7, back to the F7, back to the B flat major 7. And that's how I reharmonize this whole chunk. This is an example I call Domina-Sizing. So you can Domina-Size anything. You can take any chord you want from any tune you want and make it a dominant 7 chord. What that's going to do is, especially depending on the melody, but generally speaking, that's going to give you that dominant sound. It's going to give you a bluesy sound, and it's going to take you from that round resting type of sound that major and minor chords have into that sharper tritone dominant sound. And the perfect example of somebody who does this all the time is Thelonious Monk. He'll Domina-Size everything. He makes every chord a dominant 7 chord in half of his tunes. So if you like that Thelonious Monk Charles Mingus attitude, just Domina-Size everything. So in this case, that's what I did. I just took all the chords and Domina-Sized them. B flat became B flat 7, E flat minor, E flat 9, back to B flat 7, back to E flat 9, etc. Then I get to the 2 chord, A7, made it an A7 sus because of that D in the melody. Again, it's a 4th, so I don't want to interfering with the 3rd, to the D7 to take me to G minor 7. So I just Domina-Size this stuff. Here we go with what that sounds like. So with the dominant reharmonizations, step 1 is you take your original chord and turn it into a dominant chord. Step 2, you can precede that dominant chord with its related 2 chord. Step 3, you can take that dominant chord and use its tritone substitute. And step 4, you can use the relative 2 chord to that tritone substitute. So there's 4 levels of reharmonization right there, and I used some of it right here. So in measure 2, you have an E flat 7 in the original, or I'm sorry, E flat minor, okay? Measure 2. I made it an E flat 7. And then instead of just leaving it as an E flat 7, I used D flat 7's tritone substitute A7. And then I went to the measure before it, measure 1, and I just inserted its related 2 chord. So that takes care of the first 2 measures, E minor 7 flat 5 to A7 flat 13. So instead of just, and that all comes from the idea that the second measure in this is an E flat minor chord. So measure 3 and 4 just repeat what measure 1 did. Then I get to measure 5, where the original is a B flat major, so I just kept it as a B flat 7. Same with measure 6, I just made it E flat 7. Measure 7, I kept the original A minor 7 flat 5 for a reason, because I like this bass line, to A flat 7. So that A flat 7 is a tritone substitute for the D7, which takes me to G minor 7. So now I have an A minor 7, A flat, G line going on in the bass. And I like to play games with the bass, connecting up, making counter melodies and connecting things up in the bass too, on top of just thinking about chords and melody and things like that. So here's what some of these tritone substitutes and their 2 chords sound like. This is probably one of my favorite techniques. It's called Deceptive Cadences. Basically what this is, if you ever heard of a backdoor cadence, it's like a backdoor cadence on steroids. So most people have the backdoor cadence, which is the 4 chord to the 4 minor to the flat 7 dominant to 1. They have that, people have that down pretty good. But there's about 34 more of those things. So I'm going to have to cover that in another video. But I'll get into a couple of them here. So the first thing I'm going to use, like I said, it's a deceptive cadence. So basically what you're doing, the gist of it, is you're setting up a 2-5 to go one place, but instead you go someplace else that's unexpected, and it resolves. So in other words, I might do a 2-5 into a B flat major, but then instead of going to that B flat major, I'll go to one of its plural substitutes. Or I'll set up a 2-5 to one of the plural substitutes, but instead of going to that expected plural substitute, I'll go to the B flat major or the other plural substitute. So measures 1 and 2, I set up a deceptive cadence here. I set up an E minor 7 flat 5 to A7, which leads you to a D minor 7, which is a plural substitute for B flat major. But I didn't go to D minor, I went to B flat major. So that gives you a nice unexpected different 2-5 cadence other than your C minor 7, F7, B flat cadence. So that's one deceptive cadence. Here's another one. I'm in the measure 4. I'm setting up a 2-5 to go to G minor 7 in measure 5. So A minor 7 flat 5, D7 flat 9, but I'm not going to that G minor 7. I'm going to the B flat major. Gives you a different attitude again. Then I go to the 4 chord, as is an original. Then I do one more deceptive cadence where I set up a 2-5, C minor 7 to F7 to go to B flat major, but this time I don't go to the B flat major, I actually go to the plural substitute, the D minor. So let's check out what these deceptive cadences sound like. So here's the last example, and I like this example a lot too, because I love line progressions. I love counterpoint, I love how interior lines work, and I love really bringing that stuff out because it does make things a lot more hip and sophisticated, and it just sounds good. So in this one, it's a simple one. You can reharmonize things by bass line. You can take any, literally any bass line that you want and reharmonize any tune with any bass line that you want, and it can be total nonsense, and you can make it work. But that's going to require quite a bit more study on your part, so we're not doing that. We're just going to take a simple diatonic bass line. So I start with the 1 chord in measure 1, B flat, major, down to A, down to G, down to F, down to E flat, down to D, down to C, back, gets me back to B flat, okay? Diatonic, just walking down the scale. So B flat major, down to A in the bass, A minor 7 flat 5, diatonic chord. Down to G in the bass, G minor 7. Diatonic. Down to F, F7, diatonic. Down to E flat major, diatonic. Down the scale to D minor, diatonic. down the scale one more to C minor, down the scale one more back to B flat. I made it B flat 9 or B flat major, and then down the scale one more degree to A. But I wanted it to function as a B flat major, so I used a D minor 7 as a plural substitute for that B flat major. But then I put that over its fifth, which is A. So that allows me to get a different kind of color on that B flat major in the minor version of that, which is D minor. Then I also get to continue that bass line by putting it over the fifth, which is A. So you can always go up and down the harmony and harmonize things by bass line, and then just throw in the diatonic chords that go along with it. That's an easy way to do it. Not only can you descend like I did, but you can ascend. So I could have gone B flat, C major, D minor, E flat major, F7, G, and kept on going until I got to a point where I wanted to jump off and get into another routine. So let's see what that sounds like. All right, so those are 7 variations of some of the different kind of harmonic aspects that you can throw into tunes. You can change up the chords. You can do just about anything you want by the time you get a handle on how to do it. And I love harmony because you can play a tune 1,000 different ways and hear it differently every single time.